I'm done with the gaslighting and the unsolicited advice. If the government is cutting your support and your family is in denial, you must save yourself. This is how I fight for my own financial sovereignty. Hey everyone, welcome back to Disable Wealthy. This is the ones who returned last week. And if you're new, welcome. We're on episode 10. Right here on the Minnie on Cam YouTube channel. I'm your host, Minnie St. And I'm so glad you're here today. So this is going to be like a foundational episode for everything I do here and we do here. We are going to talk about ODSP, the financial baby steps, building net worth, and the hustle of being self-employed webcam model with episodic disabilities. I have multiple sclerosis, relapse remitting, and bipolar disorder type 2, which is more depression and more hypomania. There's a whole medical category of both my diagnosis. Why now I'm doing this? Well, we're finally pulling back the curtain on the health reality that makes those financial strategies essential. My life with relapsing remitting MS, I mentioned it before, but this is the full story of terrifying diagnosis, the hard choices about treatment, the daily reality of fighting the invisible war in my body, of symptoms. This story is practical, relevant right now as I navigate a health setback of a relapse with either it's an old lesion that's active or they finally see it in the MRI, or it's a new lesion that decided to present itself and also affect my right arm, which is new symptoms, my left arm, which is old symptoms, in the middle of the fact that I have to work and dishes and laundry and pay bills and type on a computer, plus stress me out so much that I'm not sleeping my regular routine. And it's also in the middle of me preparing a presentation for a upcoming symposium in December with Disability Without Poverty, where I talk about, I have my topic idea for it. Where did it go? Because I finished the slides. I did. Muscle spasms and all. Finished the slides. Where so I'll be presenting for the December symposium for Disability Without Poverty, Mastering the Fine Print, a blueprint for disabled entrepreneurs to build wealth and achieve financial sovereignty in Canada. And what else is there? Yeah, I'm vulnerable. I'm talking about isolation and pain, dealing with my family because they're not great at it, and judgment, family, again, not all that great about it, and unrecognized ableism. So like my family is very ableist, but to tell them they're ableist, they will act like, I don't know what you're talking about. I'm just exhausted. I'm fully exhausted. The disconnect where they can't distinguish chronic illness from everyday aches and pains. I don't even know even bother why I talk to them. I really don't. It's the main thing of that. So I have a chronic illness. They think it's just temporary. It's not temporary. Like, it's not temporary. Yeah. So this challenge is common in our community. So the disability community, we face these challenges of like, people said, oh, it'd be so nice to be home all day. Yeah, but I have a whole list of things I need to do. I'm not sitting here watching, all of Smallville and having popcorn and doing nothing and it's me that does everything. And then when I don't do anything, I have to find out why I'm not able to do something. And there's a physical reason I'm not able to do something. You know how long it takes to get the support you need because you physically can't do something? And no, it doesn't mean I need to be an institution. It means I need the people to be in my life to surround me, to help me with things I need. Yes. Yeah. So this is not even like, I talk about this stuff offline, but like online, Yeah, there's a lot of people just don't understand of other people with illnesses. Like 2.5 million people worldwide have multiple sclerosis, right? 2.5 million. We have varying degrees of symptoms, varying degrees of disability, varying degrees of mental illness, mental health, well-being that we have to deal with, and choosing the right medications and treatments and side effects. Like every time you choose a treatment, you're also choosing, I accept the possible side effects that can come with it. Like the doctor gave me choices where she wants to focus on medications that target the B cells that are more effective than the current medication I'm on, which was the teriflunomide, which teriflunomide had a 30% effective rate. And then the other medications, they have like 58 to 64% of being effective of reducing the future chances of relapses, and then doing it in the window of age 40, because those are the years that the symptoms could be the most active. And also we want to fight against the possibility of new lesions, because new lesions could risk me from being more disabled. I have to go through those things, not you watching it, not my mom over there texting me happy Sabbath. It's me. I go through these things. I have to live through these things, and I have to figure out how I'm going to like accept what they are, be depressed about what they are, be angry about what they are. All the plans and ambition I planned for myself are almost completely gone because of what's been going on with my health. It's not like, oh, I can continue to do this, then do this and this. How? Well, most of the time I'm tired and exhausted from symptoms and side effects and drowsiness and nauseous from the medications. And oh yeah, I have to be mindful because every medication changes my immune system, which means I have a higher chance of being infected with colds and flus and viruses. That I also have to stay on top of all the vaccines that come out. That other people think I shouldn't have that vaccine because they have some opinion. That's not a medical opinion from my medical professionals. So yeah, it's a lot I deal with that I just don't say, and I just hide it behind my $10,000 smile. Yeah. So okay, that was the preview. And this is not a typical episode of me on my channel. I typically talk about budgeting. I talk about policies of disability. I typically talk about how to achieve financial independence, because we're going to need it. We're going to need it. Like me now, I can't do certain things in my house that I need to get done. That means I have to hire professionals that will come do their job and go home, that are not people, friends and family that do it. Because friends and family have all this judgment and criticism that come with them offering, oh, I'm here to help you. If you're here to help me, then focus on the help. Don't focus on judging and criticizing me. I don't need that. I can hire a professional who's not going to do that. And also, the best part of hiring a professional to do the task I need to get done, I can fire them when they don't do their job. Yeah. So, like, what it was. So, first week of August, I was starting to have symptoms, and they were just numbness in my hands and my fingers. So I assumed they were the symptoms I had before I started taking B12 shots with my doctor, because we stopped them in October. There was a change in the booking system at my doctor's office. They said I had to call back and then get booked into the system again, because they were changing systems and the system wasn't going to hold my booking in the appointment in their computer, because we're relying on digital everything for everything. Like, yeah. So I said, okay, no problem. I thought I could handle it. I did. And then they also changed in January the way that my doctor handles same day appointments for patients. So then I had to add another system to my schedule of getting into my doctor. And not like I can call her now, leave a voicemail on my Tuesday morning, because Monday is a Thanksgiving, that I'll get an appointment sooner than later. I get an appointment later because my doctor is juggling family, another clinic, and then her second clinic or her first clinic. I'm not sure which one came first, but she has two clinics, then family, then other responsibilities. And she's trying to take time off to juggle all those stuff. Then, of course, with her job being family practice, there's times she gets sick like a regular human being where she's trying to mitigate infections and risks from seeing patients who have the things she's diagnosing that she can catch. I'm well aware about those things, fully aware about those things. And I follow her protocol, I follow her procedures, do everything, and I'm going to do it because she's been a wonderful doctor for 20 years of my life. She is the reason I got diagnosed very quickly with multiple sclerosis, and it didn't drag on longer than it needed to be. But at the same time, I go through these symptoms that literally change my whole identity of what I think is supposed to be healthy. The level of it changes everything that you thought was true to something that's not true. They need to figure out what's true. And then, oh yeah, everybody got an opinion about my body that they don't live in. I know I probably said that before on my channel before, but like it's really bothering me now at this point. Like the level of things I'm trying to do in my 40s to keep on track of my ambitions. They're my ambitions, they're my visions, they're my dreams. And then you come in with an opinion about it. I don't need your opinion about what I'm doing. Hello, it's just me, myself, and I. Oh yeah, I have a Holy Spirit higher power that I believe in. And no, it's not going to be what you think it is or what you believe it's going to be, and or we're all buddy with it. No, it's my own individual relationship with myself and my higher power trying to make it through the day. Because I know every day that I wake up, I have a mission to go accomplish. And as long as I'm able to move in the way I need to move, I'm going to accomplish what I'm going to accomplish. That. And oh yeah, no, I don't really want your opinion about it because from 18 to 40, I've been living on my own outside of the house trying to figure out life for myself. And if you really, this is me talking to my family if you haven't noticed. If you really wanted me to act a certain way or have certain values or have certain actions, you should have made sure you were around more often when I was a minor. That is your problem. Honestly, really and truly. Like the way that parents project so much pressure on their children and they become adults and we literally want nothing to do with you and you don't even acknowledge your behavior in those actions. This is the whole point. I'm in therapy. Yeah, I'm in therapy twice a week. I don't need to process any more of my mother and my father and my trauma of all the things because I have so much other things I have to worry about. Also, the reason I'm on disability. Not, oh, hypothetical, what happens if you get on disability later? Things my family said to me. Doesn't help me at all. Not one bit. Now, let's move into, we shared my personal story. Initial symptoms about multiple sclerosis, right? That was, I couldn't move my left arm. 2013, I couldn't move my left arm. Then I had to figure out what that was. If I can't move my left arm, what am I supposed to do? I'm already on ODSP. At that time, 2013, ODSP was the most difficult time of being on government assistance. Because at that time, you could only make $200 of income. Anything you made above that, you lost your income support by 50%. I can't afford 50% of my income from ODSP that pays my rent going down because I made too much money that I'm trying to take care of medical expenses, business expenses, replace clothes, to get my hair done, make sure I have food in my fridge that's not from the food bank that's giving me food poisoning. Those are the things I have to worry about. Okay, great. Insert 2023. ODSP says I can make $1,000 net income. Great. That's a bigger buffer. I can manage that in my budget. I can actually feel like I can rebuild everything that I lost from being on ODSP from 2011 till now, 2025, that I can catch up because they finally decided in 2023 that they'll let people make $1,000 on ODSP. Then you can figure out your life after that. They actually figured it out after how many decades of us fighting and advocating and changing policy and getting politicians to listen to us to make those changes. Oh yeah, all of that stress in my body because you know what? I'm on the program. I'm in the system. This is what I have to access. Because what? I had a psychotic break in 2008. Insert bipolar disorder, depression, and all the stuff that comes with that. So with the roller coaster of multiple sclerosis, yeah, I was not happy about it. I knew full well because of the way my family handled my diagnosis of bipolar disorder. There is no way I can depend on them for my diagnosis of multiple sclerosis. None. Do they want to hear what I have to say about that? No, because they have to take responsibility in their part and they're not going to. So I have to ignore them, take care of me, and do what I need to do. That's it. Honestly, that's the mission we're on right now. So dual diagnosis of navigating complexities of bipolar disorder, hypomania, major depressive episodes. I take them one day at a time. Either I make an appointment with my doctor or I call 988 or there's a Toronto distress number. There's Gernstein. There's 211 that'll redirect me to a new program. There's Ontario Connects. There's CAMH. I know exactly what I'm supposed to do because my therapist in 2010 fully made a mental health emergency plan for me. And then the same therapist that I had for a decade of my life was there when I was being diagnosed with multiple sclerosis. The only reason I don't have a therapist now, the waiting list is gigantic. Gigantic. And group therapy is not as effective as it is for one-on-one therapy. So I have group therapy twice a week. Then I have meetings that I go to. Then I have peer groups that I go to. Then, oh yeah, I have to pay bills, pay off credit cards, build debt, make sure I have money in retirement. Because there's nobody coming to save me and there's no job that's going to make sure I have my benefits because they're not even going to hire me because of my disability. Like, no matter how many times I add up all the things that happen, like what I'm facing today, what I faced in the past, things in the past that led to today that I have to, it's always on me to fix those things. It is. So yeah, I need faith. I need spirits. I need motivation. I need manifestation. I need everything that's available to get me to go where I need to go. And if I tell you I don't want your opinion, I don't want your opinion. That is just how that works. Because you can give your opinion, then tomorrow morning, where are you going to be? Oh, I'm tired. Oh, I have to work. Oh, I'm going on vacation. Okay, go do those things and leave me alone. Straight up. Honestly. Yeah. Okay. So that was right. We did part 1. The road to diagnosis, bipolar disorder, type 2, relapse remitting multiple sclerosis. We touched on understanding relapse and remitting multiple sclerosis and comorbidities, which is having 2 diagnoses at the same time of a diagnosis, which is bipolar disorder, ADHD, hypertension, lymphedema, multiple sclerosis, relapsing remitting multiple sclerosis. Irregular heart rate is a side effect of the medications I was taking to manage the symptoms of muscle spasms from the multiple sclerosis that I'm no longer on right now. And we're literally hoping with thoughts and prayers that I can make it till Tuesday to get prescribed a new muscle relaxer that's not going to affect my heart rate and cause other side effects. Everything is hoping we don't cause side effects. Everything is hoping that it doesn't affect my organs or my heart or my brain or my mood or my thoughts. Every one of them do that. Every one of them. You see the commercials when they list all the side effects. Each one of them is trying to make sure that those things don't happen, even though there's a chance they could happen. And then, oh yeah, when they do happen, oh, sorry to hear that. Yeah. So comorbidities is probably the worst thing possible because you literally have to manage everything all at once. And then your pill organizer or prescription just becomes a technicolor rainbow. I have a blue pill, which is teriflunomide. I have a pink pill, which is the B12 time-released over-the-counter supplement. I have translucent yellow pills, which are vitamin D 1,000 units. I take 3 of them to make sure I get 10,000 units a day. Then there is my Seroquel quetiapine, which is the bipolar, schizophrenia, depression, antipsychotic that I've been on since 2010. And that really does work very, very effectively. And then, oh yeah, because I had a relapse, the teriflunomide, I have to get on the washout prescription for it so I can start a new multiple sclerosis treatment plan, and I would like to start a new one without the first drug in my symptom, so I have a full baseline of how effective the new prescription is, because I'm not trying to have the old MS medication in my system when I start the new one. Same way when I would switch out from SSRIs, antidepressants to antipsychotics, there was always a clear indicator that the drug was no longer in my system. Let's try a new one. That is the same method and plan I'm working with now. And oh yeah, my family act like I can't make this decision by myself when they can't even make it for themselves. Something in my living like 2004, going on diagnosed with PTSD, diagnosed with depression, diagnosed with bipolar, trying all the pharmaceuticals, the clorazepam, trazodone, Advil. I think I was on Percocets. The level of I went through so many medications to manage my bipolar disorder. Then finally I get on the Seroquel where I'm stable, I'm functioning, I'm well. And as soon as I got stable, functioning, and well, insert multiple sclerosis. That changes the entire future of me. Changes everything. And managing multiple sclerosis is not like, oh, it's an affordable diagnosis. It's not. It's not an affordable diagnosis. You're literally hanging on with duct tape and glue, making sure that you don't get worse in your multiple sclerosis. That's what I'm hanging on, duct tape and glue. I know I said that before on my channel. I know I did. Because this is not like, okay, most of the time I'm enthusiastic, I'm perky, I'm on the journey of financial peace and independence. But in the background, I literally wake up every day hoping my medications are going to work and I don't have to change them. They keep the wheel turning. They literally keep the Ferris wheel moving. And now that's not happening because I have to deal with what? We're in part 3? Navigating family denial and judgment, family reactions to chronic illness. It's not theirs. It's mine. I like medically, when you pull up my medical file, the large 20-year document of what is wrong with me is right there, year by year, doctor by doctor, diagnosis, observation, professional opinion, all right there in a huge, long ass document that gets me to the next disability program, next disability accommodation. Oh, I need this. Oh, I need that. And oh, yeah, forever tied to a government worker office in the disability office that I have to report my income, my assets, my marital status. Did I leave the province for more than 30 days? Oh, I have an overpayment. You got to pay that back. $81.15 a month for the next 22 months. Oh, you can work now. You can earn $1,000. It's a good idea to make $1,000 every single month while at ODSP because you need to rebuild everything that's been taken away from you. And then family, denial, judgment, criticism, critics. I don't need it. I really don't. I really, really don't. I have one life to live and one body to live in. And if I need to reduce the, no, there was a word in there. No, obstacles. I'm going with obstacles. Let's just remember what it is. Obstacles to get to the next level. That's what I'm going to do. That's exactly what I'm going to do. All right. So we did the family denial, and then we're now at advocacy, business, and current crisis. So understanding relapse. I have more notes. Wall of denial. Discuss the common phrase, but you look fine. Yeah, I do. Praise God, I look fine. But I'm dealing with an internal battle that you don't know about. And you also, sometimes family, don't want to hear about it. And then you're mad when I don't want to see you because I don't want to see you. The amount of stuff that I'm dealing with, and then I have to, like, really? No. For my well-being and my peace, I am not going to see you. And everything I'm dealing with, everything that needs to be done, all my responsibilities, all my obligations, you can't even do any of them at all. They're mine. And then you're mad. Like, oh, I don't want it. No. If you really wanted a strong family unit, you should have thought of that. What, 20 years ago? 25? Hold on. Wait, how long is that? Of like when the family was together, and then I left home at 18. So 40 minus 18, 22. So 22 years ago, right? But there was a time where all my family were living together. So from 18, yeah. So it's 29 years, almost 30. And you're mad I don't want to spend time with you because you set up an environment that I don't want to spend time with you decades ago, almost 3 generations ago. Is that what it is? Hold on. Let me find out. What makes 3 generations? No, it's not. All right. 30 years of trauma. Yeah. Linear effects of traumatic event that occurred 3 decades ago, including persistent symptoms like flashbacks, emotional dysregulation, and physical pain. This is why I don't want to be around them. Like, honestly, we already know multiple sclerosis is an inflammatory disease, and stress brings on the inflammatory and the symptoms and affecting the central nervous system. Having an unregulated central nervous system for a long period of time has some serious effects. Then you have to get back to a baseline that you don't deteriorate faster than what was already smoldering years and decades before. Like, okay, great. Finally, my family recognizes I'm multiple sclerosis. Great. Guess who has to do everything around it to stay healthy? Me, right here. Me. And we know I have COVID morbidities of a different diagnosis before the multiple sclerosis showed up. Complex PTSD, ADHD, bipolar disorder. Nobody's thinking about the long-term effects of that diagnosis, symptoms that led, like what led to those symptoms and how they manifested in my body to where we have multiple sclerosis. I already did. I already talked about reading research paper, academic journals, talking to my doctor, reading my entire history from start to finish. The clues are there. Every clue is in there. So I'm going to do whatever I can to protect my peace, my well-being, my financial peace, and my peace. That's it. We're okay, great. We don't talk to family no more because they cannot handle what's going on. Fantastic. That's their problem. If they're like upset that I'm not talking to them anymore because of the environment that they created, it's a them problem. It really is. I have no obligation, emotional or legal, to stay with these people, and I'm not going to. I'm really not. I get like the level of chances I given my family that I should have just stopped years ago. Honestly, the day I left home, I really wish I had the strength to completely cut them off the day I left home. I really wish I did. And I totally, I get it. I get why. They were trying to rebuild. They realized I made a drastic action, but drastic actions was the only way they're going to pay attention that something was wrong. Even now, they still don't pay attention until something drastic happens to me. And if we were able to tap into all my memories of everything that happened, they couldn't handle it. I know they can't. They can't handle it when I tell it to them. So yeah, I'm going to do everything I can to live well, do well with what's going on in the way I know how. So great. I started off pretty emotional in the beginning of this live stream, and I'm pretty much calmed down by now. I know what I need to do. I don't think I really talked about it. So my doctor gave me 3 choices of treatment to start in the next couple of months for managing my relapse and remitting multiple sclerosis. Treatment options were Mavenclad, Kezi Simtac. Yeah, Kezi Simtac. I'll put it on the screen. And Ocrelizumab, which is Ocrevus. Ocrevus is a 6 months infusion where I go to a clinic and they infuse me with the treatment for multiple sclerosis, where I basically am in there in the clinic getting an infusion for 4 hours, and I do it again 6 months later. That is something that attacks my B cells, which means we get my body to stop fighting the cells in my body that it needs, and then regenerate the body with that treatment. Pretty much all of them are like that. She called them, shoot, I don't have that note anymore. D20 something? OD20 therapy? Do I have it? OD20 therapy, multiple sclerosis. Yeah, anti-CD20 therapy uses monoclonal antibodies to target and deplete B cells, which play a significant role in the immune response in multiple sclerosis. This treatment is a cornerstone of highly effective disease-modifying therapies for MS, reducing relapse, new lesions, and the progression of disability. Approved anti-CD20 therapies for MS include Ocrevus, and then it lists 3 other ones. I don't know their name. So Ocrevus is one of them. And then after, because I looked at all of them, I thought I would take Mavenclad, which is, hold on, no, let's read about Mavenclad. Mavenclad is an oral selective immunosuppressant. It is indicated as monotherapy for the treatment of adult patients with relapsing remitting multiple sclerosis to reduce frequency of clinical exacerbations and delay the progression of disability. Mavenclad is generally recommended in individuals who've had an inadequate response to or are unable to tolerate one or more therapies of multiple sclerosis. In large clinical trials, Mavenclad was shown to decrease the number of MS relapses that occurred and helped slow the accumulation of physical disease caused by MS. That is from MS Canada. I will put that in chat. Mavenclad, and then I should probably, where's Ocrevus? Give me a minute. Managing MS. Ocrevus. Oh, here's Kesmetad. Ofatam. You know what? I need my screen reader to read this out loud for me because I can't. Afatamanad? Yeah, see, I don't even know what that word was. Don't even know. Like, great. We're taking all these treatments for names I can never pronounce. Even their market brand name that they have. Kezi Imtap. No. What's this word? Say this word in English. Come on, screen reader. You can help me. Kazimta. Okay, Kazimta. There we go. It's Kazimta. Okay, so there's Kazimta. Kazimta is a monoclonal antibody that specifically targets CD20, a protein that is found on the surface of the white blood cells called B-lymph. Oh, I've heard this word before. Hold on. Lymphocytes or B cells, because Zemta is indicated for treatment of adult patients with relapsing remitting multiple sclerosis with an active disease defined by clinical and imaging features. Yeah. Remember, new active lesions in my C2 and C3. And then my neurologist said that my spine is prime real estate and we need to do everything we can to protect it. And oh yeah, so I saw her on Wednesday, October 8th. She wants my decision by a week, where the nurse team from the MS clinic is going to call me and I have to choose which out of the three disease modifying treatments for relapse remitting multiple sclerosis I'm going to take on for the next 2 to 5 to 10 years of my life, which something my family doesn't grasp that I have to do because they ignored when the doctor said I have to make a decision in a week. But if I go back and read those notes, it fully says we will have the nursing team call in a week to decide what treatments the patient has picked. It's right there in my face. Then I have to print off for Tuesday's appointment with my primary physician so she can be on board and help me make a good decision. And I have to do it soon because I like to get back to my financial peace and independence journey. Indicate and use of Kazemtak is indicated for the treatment of adult patients with relapsing remitting multiple sclerosis with the active disease defined by clinicians and imaging features. Administration and doses Kazemta is self-injected under the skin once monthly. Once monthly is fine. I thought I know my drugstore could do injections for me once a month, I think $20. I would just walk there and have it done, which I'm really considering them doing that, as I don't really think I can inject myself at all. Volcavirus, I would go to the clinic, I sit in the chair, I get comfortable, they put the infusions in me twice a year, and then I have to basically plan my whole life around that schedule. Travel plans are a little bit affected. Going back to school will be a little bit affected. When I plan events that I want to go to will be affected. All around, twice a year, getting my infusions to manage my multiple sclerosis, and in between live my life. Yeah. I could say it. I could say the words. I still have to make the decision. I still have to make the decision. Okay, so that was Kazemtak. Ocalivaris. Where's Ocalivaris? Ocalivaris treatments. Ocalivaris is kind of the name of the neutral. I agree with the website feedback of so feedback I gave MS Canada. I find it very difficult to accept their MS information because of the lack of representation of Black, African, Caribbean patients, clients, people, families living with multiple sclerosis. If I want to find anything that represents African, Black, Caribbean living with multiple sclerosis, I have to go around the entire world. Like MS Australia, then there's overcomingms.org in the United States or the UK. No, they're in the UK. So I have to go to Australia, the UK, United States, then Canada to get my information. Black MS Summit is in America, so I have to log in or travel there for that conference. Canada doesn't have it. And no matter how many times I write letters complaining that they don't have it, they still don't even think to have it. Even though how old that organization is, they still don't have it. So how exactly am I supposed to make the best decisions of living with multiple sclerosis when I can't even talk to other patients or people that look like me unless I happen to bump into them in the waiting room of getting the MRI? That's what's happening. I can't talk to my family. They don't believe I have it. they're not my first people in my support system. They're my last people in my support system. Great. If I go to disability groups and peer groups, it's everybody with a disability of any type, which means I don't get specific support around multiple sclerosis in that environment. And majority of them are on disability benefits, living below the poverty line where they lost hope. So how am I supposed to really? Y'all are my best example and you literally given up and lost hope? And then y'all come together because y'all miserable and losing hope altogether? That doesn't help me either. Really doesn't. I'm on a mission to have $1 million in net worth in there to take care of my disability, because if disease progresses in the future and I'm still living here needing things to get done and my family still looks like, oh, I don't know if I can help you. I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't need to deal with that. I really don't. And that voice I made, it's my father, if you're wondering. Yeah, that's literally how they sound. Yeah, pretty much. Oh yeah, and they get very mad when I give them the mocking feedback of how they sound in my head when they're talking to me. So yeah, Ocrevus, monoclonal antibody that specifically targets CD20, a protein that is found on the surface of white blood cells called lymphocytes. Ooh, I got it right this time. Ocrevus is indicated for the treatment of adults with relapsing remitting MS with active disease defined by clinical and imaging features. Yes, we found the lesions in my brain, my spine, and my neck. Praise God. Thank you very much. My symptoms are mostly the partial function of my arms, more loss of function if my arms are giving me muscle spasms in varying degrees of intensity, frequency, and deformity. Like right now, the deformity is this finger gets stuck in this position. So it's my left pointer finger, or my second digit. I forgot what the notes called it. So the finger usually point at, it has this weird way of bending in a certain, like a light bend at the first knuckle. Yeah, first knuckle. And it just stays there, but I need it to type. And then my right finger does the same thing. So if I'm typing and I have my middle finger, ring finger, and pinky and thumb ready to type, and then my pointer finger does not want to move to type on a keyboard, I can't type, which means I can't get work done. I have a digital home-based business that needs me to produce content from a computer with a QWERTY keyboard. And if I can't do it, I have to find all these adaptive services of like text to speech or audio recordings, and I transcribe them just to get it all set up and running, waiting for my hand to give me back function so I can tap the mouse and move the screen and drag and drop and all those things. The level of things that you don't realize that just go away if you become sick. And it's not aches and pains. So here's the thing. People are like, oh, can't you just take Tylenol? No, I have nerve damage in my body from lesions in my central nervous system that are affecting every signal from my brain to the rest of my body and how my body functions. This is not something Tylenol is going to fix. Tylenol is pain relief. Great. Tylenol is really for when I have a migraine. I take a Tylenol, I go have a nap, and then by the time I wake up, migraine gone. That's it. It's not even like a migraine. It's like a headache. It's a mild headache, pressure headache. I take a Tylenol, I'm gone. It's gone. But for muscle spasms and all that, I literally wake up in the middle of the night, unable to move both my arms in my sleep. You're sleeping. You're having a full sleep. Do you think I get to dream when those things are happening to me? No. This is why we have sleep apnea, where they said I stop breathing 32 times for 10 seconds in the night when I sleep. And oh yeah, bipolar disorder affects my sleep because of the ups and downs of my moods and the hypomania and the depression and the manic and the psychosis. We're trying to make sure all these things don't just fall apart. You know what plates I'm spinning to manage just to be here, and you get mad, family gets mad when I don't want their advice. Of course. They weren't there in the beginning. They weren't. It's not like, oh, my family's always been there. They've been my support system. They've been good. No, they offer help in the help that they would want for themselves instead of asking me, what do I need? Like the lady in church. She was so wonderful about it. I'm having a spasm. And she says, are you all right, dear? I said, yes, I'm fine. I'm just having a little muscle spasm. Then she asked, is there anything I can do for you? I said, yes, you can just keep continuing the pleasant conversation. And she did. It was fantastic. It kept my mind off what was bothering me. She had a very lovely life to tell me about. And I really appreciate her wisdom and guidance in that moment. And I was able to calm down and be able to go on my way. But you think my mother can do that? No, not even close. Not even remote. She's not capable of doing it. And I understand. I accept that. I fully accept that. Her not being capable of doing something that I need in the way that actually, like, the needs I have. Because I'm not my sister. I'm not my brother. I'm my own individual person. And we've already developed what works for this brain. And if it's not you, I have to go find it somewhere else. And then me trying to think, oh, if I try harder, it'll work. No. It is not. The level of me shaking my head and saying, it's just not gonna work. It's just not. Like, I live a relapse remitting multiple sclerosis. Yes, I found ways of living well with multiple sclerosis from overcoming MS. They have a 7-pillar framework based on proven science of working. I have to figure out how to integrate that into my life of following the recommendation, which is diet, vitamin D, physical therapy. Let me go find it. Hold on. Because me trying to remember it off my head right now when I'm a little bit upset is not going to help. I mean, this is kind of nice. You see me like completely vent and have a breakdown and rebuild myself back up again. That is what we're doing. ms.net, right? But okay, so then maybe, right, I had this open to tell you about my presentation I'm working on for Disability Without Poverty, and I'm very excited about it. I work really hard on it, all full well knowing that my hands are not going to work properly. And all I have to do is just, like, the slides are done. I have to record the presentation. It's not going to be a live stream because it's for Disability Without Poverty. It's going to be on their YouTube channel. I've been making the visual description alt text for all the slide images in the presentation so that people are blind, low vision could see it. It's fantastic. I don't know what dropped my signal. Are we still live? Okay, good. Yeah, so like, right, overcomingms.org. This community is pretty wonderful. Like, we're here for everyone with MS who wants to take control of their health and well-being. Fantastic. Because it's not going to come from my family. It's just not. It's just not. And the only reason I'm hesitant to say it, I have the inner critic voice of my mother in my head telling me, oh, you can't talk to me that way. I'm going to, because you're acting that way. And there's really not much you can do about it unless you decide to change the way you're acting, where I see that you actually are catching on to, this is what my daughter needs, but you're not doing that. So I got to find it somewhere else. Our purpose, restoring hope for those living with multiple sclerosis. Yeah, it's not coming from family. An MS diagnosis can shatter hope, leaving you feeling lost and overwhelmed. We're here to change the narrative. A happy and fulfilling life with MS is possible through a healthy lifestyle and supportive community. Here's the thing. Your community does not have to be your biological family. There is 7 or 8 billion people on the planet. 2.5 million live with multiple sclerosis. 1.3 live with a disability. You don't need to have only people with your diagnosis and your disability as your support system. This is why I go to church twice a week. And I have my peer groups twice a week. And I have my other meetings once a month. I'm building my community. I'm building my chosen family. I'm building my support system. And a lot of them I'm going to have to apologize because it's just been so overwhelming and so heavy of everything I've been dealing with and trying to process everything because I don't have that biological need met from my family. And I really hope they see this because they don't listen to me when we have a conversation one-on-one. I probably really have to record everything and just send it to them because they don't listen to me. I may have to because this is just getting ridiculous. So connection to multiple sclerosis, like I really like overcomingms.org. I really do. I like their podcast. They have a book. They have some recipes. They have an online community for people that are either living with MS or have family that they're supporting living with MS. Then I have my MS clinic, which has a wonderful historical track record of supporting MS with the patients that they have that come into the clinic. They have a dozen or so or more neurologists that operate in that clinic. And I'm very, 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 very happy that my doctor did not wait too long for when I shared I was having symptoms. She acted on it very quickly. I got my MRI right away. I saw the neurologist right away. This is 2013. 2013, they're saying it was clinical isolation symptom. And then 2019, they confirmed it's multiple sclerosis relapse remitting based on fitting the criteria of the McDonald criteria from 1950 they made it. Yeah, like I'm not worried about the diagnosis. What I'm worried about is handling it by myself. That is what I'm worried about, handling it by myself. And the reason I feel like I'm handling it by myself, there's too many people in my life are showing me evidence I cannot rely on them. That is the part I'm overwhelmed and frustrated and angry and like jumping all over the place with my thoughts. That, because once I log off here with the live stream for today's Saturday live stream, and I'm hoping people got value out of what's happening because I don't share this raw, honest version of myself a lot. I script everything when I'm online the best way I can because I learned jumping on the microphone going live doesn't always work out too well. So yeah, and then diet. Diet is already a challenge of being on ODSP. Special diet I get from ODSP is $215 once a month. I use it already for my first week of groceries. Now, because there's a Canada disability benefit that's coming in on the 16th of October, I'm going to have to use that money for my next batch of grocery order delivery. Then Tuesday, I see my doctor. We're going to look for a different muscle relaxer that my neurologist is agreeing with. She already recommended baclofen. I will go back on the baclofen because it did work. We just need to determine if baclofen is causing one of the side effects that I thought I was having and if I'm truly having it or not. And it's mildly a bearable side effect that was happening. It was just that at the time of getting diagnosed and then getting treatment and trying different medications, like multiple sclerosis is not like, here's your pill, take it every day, you're fine, like bipolar disorder. Like once we got on quetiapine Seroquel for bipolar disorder, it worked right away. I got back to life. I got back to work. I did what I needed to do and we're great for 3 years straight. And then I get diagnosed with multiple sclerosis and everything just kind of fell apart for me. And again, it's me by myself because my family doesn't even believe in mental illness. My mom thinks it comes from the devil. So like, I can't even talk to her about anything. Like I can't. Like I'm not even going to try. And I'm not even going to get myself into that reality that she lives in. I'm not. I don't have the energy for it. I don't have the capacity for it. I don't have the belief system for it. I don't have the values for it. It's just not going to happen. Me, I'm building my support system that I need so I can wake up tomorrow morning and be very happy about what I done for the day. That. So yeah, diet, ODSP special diet, $215. And it's mostly because there's multiple reasons why I got $215. If I didn't have the medical conditions based on the special diet allowance form from ODSP, I wouldn't be getting extra money for food. I wouldn't. Like the default option, if you don't have enough money from your ODSP to pay for food, is food banks, Meals on Wheels. Food prepared by other people that are given to you and you're expected to eat because you're too poor to have anything else. I don't want to live like that. So I have to physically get my body to work my job, making money so I can eat the food that I choose that fits in the diet recommendation of living with MS. And they recommend a plant-based diet. I'm going for the Whole30, the paleo, the Daniel plant. I do like meat. I do like beef. I'm not trying to have it every day, but I am trying to have it twice a month. Pot roast, oxtail, beef shank, bone broth, medium well done steak. Yes. Twice a month. Great. Other than that, it's chicken and fish. And then I need more vegetables, fruits and vegetables. Great. But always having fruit, like fresh fruits and vegetables, especially fresh, not frozen, is challenging. And then juggling the cost of inflation, high cost of living, and most of your money is going into food. And it's an investment in reducing your symptoms of multiple sclerosis. And there's no other option. There isn't another option that actually does the thing I can make sustainable, stick with it, enjoy it, repeat it, like making meal planning part of my day that doesn't feel like a burden. There's not a lot of other options out there, which if my people, my family were paying attention, they would understand that I feel like everything for me right now is a burden. And if it feels like a burden, this is the indicator I'm going to lose hope. If they were paying attention to the fact that I have a mental illness condition that brews underneath the multiple sclerosis, they would know I'm showing symptoms where my mental health is a little bit depleting right now. But they don't even pay attention to that. My doctors do. They are awesome at that. Like every medical appointment I go into, they are fully paying attention to my mood. Fully paying attention to, this is how you were stable in my notes last time. This is how you're not so much stable on the notes this time. There's a full direct record recording that happens when I see a doctor that they can indicate, oh, your mood shift. Oh, your outlook on treatment shift. It's written. It's literally written for 20 years of records written of my mental illness, my well-being, how I manage challenges and obstacles and face grief is recorded. That my family wants to have in a denial box of, I don't really know what's going on with you, because you don't want to know. Whenever they say these words, I know they don't want to know. I know they don't want to know. So now I have to go out there and find my whole support system. The one thing about here, okay, overcoming MS, they build their thing off of 7 pillars. The family health one, I'm on my own. I'm my own family. We're taking care of me. My family, because they don't believe I have multiple sclerosis. And if there's an indicator that multiple sclerosis is hereditary, which can happen to my siblings or happen later in life to my parents and grandparents. One grandparent, the other one is no longer living. Actually, 3 of them. Yeah, 3 grandparents and not 1 grandparent's left. Because you can actually get multiple sclerosis in your 50s and 60s. The treatment options are a little bit different, but you can still be diagnosed with it. So great. I'm in the normal range of being diagnosed with multiple sclerosis in my late 20s, all of my 30s, and now my 40s, 50s, and 60s. And luckily, the multiple sclerosis type gave me a disease progression on the EDDS score of a 1 or a 2.5. These are my notes. That is what the doctor said. Every time I read it, EDDS, there's a score, there's a specific number, and it's indicating how they determine disability and treatment options for me having relapse remitting multiple sclerosis. And I'm now on my second neurologist that's monitoring my multiple sclerosis, which means she reviewed every single note from 2013 to 2025. And her note says, I agree with the findings of relapse remitting multiple sclerosis. And now she's looking at different indicators of wondering if I will be progressive in my multiple sclerosis. Because there's something in that she's seeing in the notes that I read that she's going to check on, that I will have a follow-up in April about it. And the fact that she wants to follow up in April, to me, good indicator. The amount of information I have to process about my health, my condition, the notes, treatments, diagnosis, pick a treatment, pick a medication. Does it cover with insurance? Can I tolerate it? What are my side effects? Then take the treatment and medication as part of my daily routine, where taking the treatment and medication as part of my daily routine becomes a boundary for me when I go through, let's say I take Ocrevus. Where's the booklet? Here. If I take Ocrevus, it says, during the infusion, your doctor will prescribe you other medicines, steroids, antihistamines, or medications to reduce fever. Fever, right here, in the booklet, right here. Where are we? Hold on. That's not me. That is something else. Stop sharing. Oh, yes, this works. Yeah, this. Wait, okay, good. This booklet is the Ocrevus marketing material that they give patients. This booklet was written in consultation with patients. Really? Okay. For adults with relapsing remitting multiple sclerosis, getting started with Ocrevus. And then it says, what is multiple sclerosis in the beginning of the book? Then how does Ocrevus work? This is how we know it goes for the B cells, lymphocytes, immune system, which includes B cells, mistakenly attacks a protective myelin coating on your nerves. Ocrevus works by targeting a specific protein on the surface of these B cells. By doing this, your immune system may not attack your nervous system. May not. That means it still might. How is Ocrevus given? Ocrevus is given twice a year, every 6 months. It is given to you by a doctor or nurse as intravenous IV infusion, which means injected directly into your veins. Great. First dose, it's 300 milligrams, 2 bags for 600. The first dose, 2 weeks apart. So if I chose it next week, 2 weeks later, do it again. Just so my body knows, hey, this is Ocrevus. Congratulations. Like, here you go. Then time between doses is every 6 months. 1 single infusion every 6 months. First one is 300, 2 weeks, 300. That's my 600. Then 6 months later, I do it again. And you pretty much, once you choose your treatment, you pretty much commit to it until there's a reason you have to change it. This is what my family is not seem to grasping in the decision that I have to make in my life. That was not in the list of when I grow up. It was not. And they wonder why I'm like angry. What do you think? Of course I'm angry. Like, of course. I'm gonna stop sharing my screen. So like, okay. Yeah. Actually, no, we're not done yet. Hold on. Yeah, my only like glimmer of hope and acceptance and feeling like I can accomplish this and I'm capable of making this decision and I'm good taking care of my body and knowing what it needs is finding parts of the MS community that are promoting a living well lifestyle. Like diagnosing multiple sclerosis in the beginning, 1800s, they told you to lie down and do nothing. Now they finally found a way that you can have multiple sclerosis and live your life as long as you're not progressive, pretty much. I started with clinical isolated syndrome. A diagnosis related to MS is when a person has only one clinical attack of neurological symptoms, but does not currently meet the diagnostic criteria of MS. 2013, that was me. You may develop MS in the future, but it's not guaranteed. Your doctor may suggest treatment that holds MS in check for a while. We did. So basically what it was, we chose, because the lumbar puncture was denied of the fact that there wasn't an available person who can take me home after the lumbar puncture because of you do the lumbar puncture and they want you to lie down for a few hours after the lumbar puncture. I found out after I could have hired a private nursing service to take me home after the lumbar puncture. So because that didn't work out, I lived with the clinical isolated syndrome for about 6 years, where I had that one particular symptom, and then we're waiting for lesions to show up in my brain and different parts of the brain and the spine throughout the 6 years. Then 2019, the doctor's like, yeah, that's multiple sclerosis relapsing remitting. 85% of people with MS are initially diagnosed with this form of disease. It is defined by discrete episodes of neurological symptoms called relapses, attacks, or flare-ups. These relapses are a result of new inflammation lesions within the central nervous system. This is followed by periods of very few or no symptoms known as remission. Periods of remission can last months or years. MultipleSclerosis.net says years. I don't have time to be in a relapse, attack, flare up that could last months or years. My family acting like, oh, there's nothing wrong with you. You're fine. I can't. I really can't. I can't. No. Mm-mm. No. Mm-mm. My brain, no, it can't. It fully, no. Just, okay. We've been going on for an hour. Yeah, that is August, September, October now. I have to make a decision of which antibody D20, what was it called again? Hold on. Yeah. CD20 therapy that focuses on my B cells for reducing the next relapse of multiple sclerosis. I have 3 choices. I will see my medical professional on Tuesday. I will talk to her about everything that I've been feeling. I will probably ask her for a neuropsychiatrist, get on that waiting list because we know that's going to be a waiting list. And just let her know I'm having a very difficult time trying to process all this information. I need more support because I don't know why I thought family would be supportive when they've never been supportive of me at all. Like I gave them too much hope. I need to stop doing that. Yeah, that. What else is there? I want to make sure we cover everything. Living with MS and bipolar disorder is a daily battle, one that constantly tests your lifestyle, mental well-being. The reality means cycling through 5 stages of grief. I kind of went through them right now. Repeatedly. It's not a one-time event. Like the stages of grief. Like there's times where I'm fully acceptance of living with bipolar disorder and multiple sclerosis. Then there's other times where I'm fully angry of living with it. More angry with multiple sclerosis than angry of living with bipolar disorder. Then there's depression. The depression doesn't just come because I'm depressed about like life happening to me. There's a direct depression that comes from the fact that it's multiple sclerosis and the fact that I'm on government assistance that has me face like unbearable challenges with the system that I have no other choice but to push through and navigate it because nobody else can do it. And I also get bad advice from other people when I'm trying to solve a problem or challenge of accessing support in Ontario Disability Support Program or talking to my caseworker or how do I communicate to my caseworker so that they understand what my needs are. Like I had to develop a skill that I couldn't have an advocate speak on my behalf when I go to my disability office. And now I'm thinking I can't also have anybody come with me to my medical appointments for my follow-up for my multiple sclerosis because it's not just me in there talking to my doctor about my health. There's another person in there that thinks it's happening to them and it's not happening to them. Like if I bring you in the medical appointment, my support system, you sit quietly and ask questions. That is all. And then after that happens, you wait for me to process all that information. I just need a witness in the room to hear the information instead of just me trying to remember all of the information. And I'm lucky now that the notes, I think my family doctor, she records the appointment when I'm in there. Fantastic. And I think maybe my neurologist does the same thing. I'll ask her in my next follow-up in April. And then I have to call the clinic and ask them all my questions about the treatments they gave me for relapse remitting multiple sclerosis. Like, I really don't know. Because whatever I pick, it's a commitment. It's a full-on commitment once I pick it. And it's not like, like when I picked the first one, I only had two choices. It was Copaxone and teriflunomide. I chose teriflunomide. Let me go read Copaxone because I'm kind of like it was one of the daily injectables for Copaxone, and I think Copaxone is one of the older self-injectables for multiple sclerosis. Copaxone is a synthetic protein made up of combination of 4 amino acids that chemically resembles a compound of myelin, the insulating material that protects nerves and helps them work properly. Copaxone induces the production of immune cells that are less damaging to myelin. Okay. 20 milligram once a day. To decrease frequency of clinical exacerbations, to reduce number of volume of active brain lesions identified on MRI scans. Before Copaxone is initiated, people at risk of developing CDMS must have brain lesions or MRI, and other possible diagnosis must be ruled out. There's a 40 milligram 3 times a week. Ugh. 20 milligram once daily, 40 milligram 3 times a week. Copaxone 20 milligrams self-injected every day under the skin subcutaneously, or 40 milligram 3 times a week. Copaxone is available for pre-filled syringes and pre-filled auto-injectors. Oh, yeah. I'm glad I did not pick that one. The recommended dose of Copaxone is 20 milligram per day or 3. Yeah, every time I read it, it just bothers me. All right, let me read the teriflunomide. I'm trying to why did I pick this one? Immune modulator with anti-inflammatory properties. It is a once daily oral medication for the treatment of relapse and remitting multiple sclerosis. In large clinical trials, teriflunomide was shown to decrease the number of MS relapses that occur and help to slow the accumulation of physical disability caused by MS. Okay, see, simple. That was just this is what it does. This is the type of medical science ingredient it is. Indication and use is indicated on a monotherapy for treatment for people relapsing or remitting MS, to reduce frequency clinical exacerbations, to delay the accumulation of physical abilities. With physical disabilities, teriflunomide should only be prescribed by clinicians who are experienced in the diagnosis and management of MS. Safety efficacy, that's children. No, I'm 18 and over. 45 years, 35. What? When did 2019? I was 34, and then 35 I started teriflunomide. Well, we're no longer going to be on it once I pick my new one. So we have 3 choices. We started with 2 choices. Now we pick 3, and then we wait and see. That's where we are. And I'm hoping people understand that MS is a roller coaster of a ride. It really is. Like, it never ends. It actually does not end. Like, I go on treatment and then I add on diet. Overcoming MS is recommending a plant-based diet, like a Mediterranean diet. Living MS multiple sclerosis means paying close attention to how everyday choices like what you eat can affect your well-being. To help you discover the best foods to eat with MS, we'll explore a nutrition-rich plant-based diet that can be part of a balanced approach to living well with MS. Switching to plant-based whole food diet that is rich in omega-3 while excluding dairy and minimizing saturated fats indicated is critical in recovery from your symptoms and living a long, healthy life. But there's also other people that have an opinion of what diet you're supposed to have on multiple sclerosis. There's the Walsh protocol, because Dr. Walsh was living with multiple sclerosis, and she, I'm going to find it. Walsh protocol. Walsh protocol has addressed they're trying to cover too many things. Hold on. Okay, so Dr. Walsh has progressive multiple sclerosis. Nutrient-dense anti-inflammatory diet based on paleo principles with 3 levels that can be adapted to individual needs, plus optional elimination diet to identify sensitivities. The protocols focuses on whole foods and supplements to improve cellular health and aim to reduce fatigue and improve quality of life, as supported by some studies on patients with MS. Great. So I have relapsed and remitting MS. Dr. Walsh is saying that she has progressive MS, and then she decided to transform her lifestyle with a anti-inflammatory paleo principles diet elimination diet, which is most likely the diet I will follow for me living multiple sclerosis, because she does have meat in her paleo diet. I'm trying to remember where I saw it. Do you have meat in paleo? Yeah, paleo diet includes meat, particularly lean meats from animals like beef, chicken, turkey, and pork, along with fish and seafood. Yay. While overcoming MS, they're more along with fish and seafood, maybe turkey. I need to find out if they have turkey in their diet. Maybe chicken. Like, it's a whole try it and see. Like, and it's more of be more aware of what you're eating so that it supports your immune system, so it's able to rebuild all the myelin in your body, because they learned that you can rebuild myelin. Myelin is what is breaking down that you have signs of multiple sclerosis, and myelin rebuilds back slowly. So there's a whole, and then multiple sclerosis slows down after the age of 50. So we're playing with a lot of trial and error with some scientific based evidence of multiple sclerosis that I have to learn critical thinking, make my decision, and build a lifestyle that's sustainable that I can live with, so I can show up next week Saturday and, probably have something else to talk about. So this is it. I will see you on the next one. It's been great. I would like to see the replay to see how this all turned out, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye. Oh yeah, like, subscribe, share, buy me a coffee, and yeah, next Saturday, 10 to 11 a.m. I will try to stay on time, but just be mindful that right now I'm dealing with a relapse and remitting multiple sclerosis and I have to choose a different treatment plan. And I'm very overwhelmed right now. Plus, I need to make money to pay off credit cards because I'm in baby step 2 of the Dave Ramsey baby steps, where I have to pay off $16,000 of consumer debt, including a disability overpayment, so I can get back to living my life and enjoying all the goods, blessings I have in my life at the same time. And oh, yeah, I'm mostly doing it all by myself because I don't have that family support system everyone talks about. I just don't. So, bye. See you. Smooches.